It's just mind-boggling to me how people think or how people react. Like, if you're in that group to support Canadian products, then what else matters? Like, that's a Canadian product that you could choose to support or not.
Oh, and a full year, and that lets you save. Who cares?
Welcome to a brand new edition of Ageless Energy, where we talk about how to burn fat, increase energy, and balance hormones for women over 40. Over the past 20 years as a performance coach, I've worked with hundreds of women that have the exact same struggles you do. I hope to shine some light with this podcast on what can be the most challenging time of your life and let you know there is hope to find success with your health and what you're looking for. Please share and enjoy. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing out there? Welcome to another show, Ageless Energy. Let's jump into it. Today is a bit of a, I don't want to say hodgepodge. I want to thank you guys and express our gratitude. I'll share and I'll read some of your comments from a post I put up about a little vent or rant and supporting local, building community, and complaining. All topics that I want to go over today. So buckle up. Let's dive in and have some fun. If you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been helping women 40 plus increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So welcome to the group, the show, whether you're listening, watching, appreciate you being here. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'm happy to answer live or come back after, and or I'll come back after and answer. But I guess I had it was not a big deal. I'm not like, I don't want to blow this up. It's certainly not far from a victim mindset or mentality. I was just, you go into certain places and you think differently. Like, I'll tell you this is slightly off topic, but I went into this bookstore and like as an author years ago, and I'm an introvert. It's really hard for me to hey, come and check out my book, blah blah blah. And then I had some lady come over, and she really liked the book. She wanted to talk to me, so she's probably there for 20 minutes. Anyways, the manager came over and was just super rude. You're not talking to anyone else. What are you doing here? You're not selling your books. Why are you talking to one person? I was just so taken back. I was so shocked and offended because at that time I was doing book signings all summer, so it was 3 or 4 month stretch, and this was kind of closer to near the end, fortunately, and it was really hard to take. It was why, she clearly had some issues, other issues, underlying issues, maybe with other authors or not sure what, but I was so taken back. I had no idea how to respond, because you go into an atmosphere like that, in most cases, local bookstores, all the managers I've dealt with are really friendly, happy to have a local author. You got to sit in the middle of the store. It's not enjoyable for an introvert. But that's the only way I knew how to sell books at the time, and it was a really difficult situation. So I ended up calling the main office, and because it was a big chain or franchise, whatever you want to call it, and I was like, hey, you guys, I just want to let you know this happened. I don't know if that's normal or that's what you guys accept of your managers, but I won't be back, and I don't feel like that was acceptable. At any rate, I mentioned here, I went into this, it's a support Canadian group, and if you're watching from otherwise, we're a Canadian company, and we do ship all over, but we ship into the US, we ship overseas, not so often, but we ship all across Canada. But if you're unaware, there's this big push for supporting Canada product, which I don't 100% believe is true, which I'll get into slightly here. But I went into this group and I said, we are the only, we have a unique selling point, and we have a popular product. It's our new collagen product that's selling everywhere like crazy. We sold out at the Uptown Market. So we brought in more product last night. So there'll be product there all weekend, collagen in particular. Then we've sold out at the farm table and Carstairs. So we had today there's going to be a new batch delivered. So we have the best collagen I've found. There's no other company that I know of. There's no Canadian company selling organic collagen, and there's no company that I know of that has the same certifications, processes that our manufacturer is doing. And they don't. It's because it costs more to do that. It costs more to have a certified organic product. It costs more to for the processing stage to avoid gelatin, which is ours does. We have how you can track a hide, for example, where it comes from, non-GMO. It's like we have it all. And I don't say that like everyone else is this junk or garbage. That's not true. I'm just saying like we have a unique product and we have a better quality product. So I go into this like, and I don't like posting in other groups to begin with, but I go into this group and it's like support local, support Canadian, rah rah. And I'm like, okay, so I post our product, and I just said we're the only. I didn't say we. I said this is the only, as a neutral stand, the only organic Canadian product. Let me try again. We're the only Canadian company that sells an organic protein or collagen. Any other ones are coming from the U.S. and they're shipping that pair, and that's fine. Like I'm not saying don't buy U.S. products. I'm just saying that we're unique in that regard. And there is very few organic collagens out there, like true organic. And then there's grass-fed, right? Grass-fed is trendy. So you could have a company that would put their animals on grass for one feeding, and then they send them off to slaughter. And then they're grass-fed, right? Instead of having their whole life, which is a true grass-fed product. But it's just a trendy, like that's what companies do to stay ahead, and they stay ahead of marketing. So I put this post up, and this lady jumps in there and she says, your information is misleading. I've been using Organica for years, which she thought was an organic product. Organica is a name brand. So, which I feel is a little bit misleading, because if you think like of organic or Organica, it's obviously a play on organic, you would have organic products. And they have some organic products, not all organic. I don't have a problem with their company at all. I just think like it's really good marketing, slightly misleading to their customer base, because I don't know what type of information they put out there to let them know that all their products are not indeed organic. So this lady jumps in there and she says, I've been buying Organica for years. Your information is misleading. So I'm guessing she was saying that Organica was organic. And it's not. So anyway, like it's not a huge deal. I just think it's worth talking about and understanding like where your products come from, whether they're sourced, the ingredients, etc. If you're using a product for years and you have some maybe misleading information, that individual is certainly in the wrong. And then I'll fast forward here, and then one other lady was like, I just took a neutral. I wasn't like, hey, come and buy our products, because I feel like that's a little bit pushy or a little bit sleazy. I just said this product is, and then so this other lady jumps in there and she's like something about proper business etiquette is to disclose this is your product. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's so crazy to me. Like, our focus is so scattered. Like, who cares? Like, what are you talking about? It was not like I was doing anything shady or trying to represent a product that wasn't ethical or didn't have proper certifications or whatever it is, right? I just didn't say, hey, this is my product. Do you want to buy it? I said this is the only. Anyways, it's just mind-boggling to me how people think or how people react. Like, if you're in that group to support Canadian products, then what else matters? Like, that's a Canadian product that you could choose to support or not. And she's like, clearly not. And then it just feels like that group entirely is misleading. And because it's not a group, doesn't seem to be a group to support Canadian products. It seems to be a group that's more directed towards making sure that you are putting in the right information. Otherwise, you're going to be strung up for it. I want to read some comments here, because I wasn't going to talk about this, and I didn't know what kind of reaction I was going to get. So I shared a rant on our own Ageless Energy group, and you never know what kind of response you're going to get. But I got some really cool responses here, which kind of inspired me this morning, and it livened me up, and it just means a lot to have a supportive community behind you. Genevieve says, thanks for your knowledge and sharing. These are other people's opinions, and I'm happy to share. I feel like everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Jody says the Organica is awful. I didn't purchase it due to thinking it was organic. I'd heard it was good. Currently, it's just sitting unused due to its unmixability. It's chunky and doesn't dissolve. The only way I can use it if I blend it in a smoothie. Not recommended. Thanks for sharing that, Jody. Nice to hear. I don't know if I can say this. Shelly says people are, I think I can say, can you say ass on Facebook? I'm not quite sure. People are ASS hat and love to be Facebook bullies. Toby says, which is why they spell it with a K. They are allowing the unwitting consumers to jump to conclusions and make assumptions. Ain't marketing, granted. Jane says, well said. Try to ignore the trolls. Lori says, well said, Drew. And you guys are forthcoming with your products and ask any questions about your products. You guys answer them. Yeah. And then Irma says, I love you guys and what you have built. Blank the haters. Send them to me. I didn't even read this whole. I didn't even read this whole thing. I will straighten them out. Your products are the cleanest out there, and they work. Thanks, Irma. It just brightens my day to know that we have people behind. Like, we've been building our brand for years. You know what the hardest part about business, I feel? One of the hardest part is about ethically growing. So I like to say always, I almost always tell the truth. Like, I believe leading with the truth is the best way to go about everything in life, which is why our company is called True Form. And it's hard. One of the hardest things about business is growing ethically. So you could have a business like Organica, and truthfully, I don't know a lot about them. I don't know something like I study some businesses, like how they came up, how they market, about their products. But nowadays, I spend more on our products and our business and our customers. I don't spend that much time. I don't know much about their business, to be honest. But I know they don't sell at this point. They don't sell an organic collagen. It's not to say they don't have good products, but my point is that you have companies like clearly Organica. The brand name is a play on word of organic. It's the same thing with you have a company called Digestion Cookies is the brand name. If you read the ingredients, it has nothing to do with digestion. They actually would cause harm to your digestion. And I think there was something around meat, like I don't know, 100%. I don't know, it was Canadian meat or 100% beef, something like that. It was the brand name. It wasn't the actual product, which is bizarre, like mind blowing that you can do that. And I'm not saying that there should be restrictions or regulations around what you can and can't do. In that case, it's just there's another company, a super popular company called Obvi, Obvi, and they have they'll say on their collagen it says burn fat with this collagen, and I'm like, since when does collagen help you burn fat? So those are the companies that we compete against, and I would say the majority are unethical, but that's what people want to see and that's what people want to hear, so they'll buy in masses. So I feel like it's a bit harder to be in an ethical place in this industry and grow. That's just the world we live in. So I'm okay with that. And it's an uphill battle that we've decided to take on a number of years ago, and we're still here and we're still moving forward. But having comments like this come through makes us feel invincible. So thank you guys. I don't want to get into this too much. Like Vanda says, Vanda actually went on, like she joined that group and then commented on our post and said these are great products. That's super helpful. Like if you guys see an ad from us, like we don't run ads very often. We've dabbled and continue to, not entirely successfully, but if you see an ad from us and you comment, because there's always like these haters that pop up and like they say crazy things. That's the World Wide Web. That's the world we live in. But if you see a post from us, like it really helps if you comment or share. Like if you're in any of these groups or want to join these groups and see our posts come up, like commenting is definitely helpful, because otherwise you have random strangers that don't know us and don't believe us and think we're just trying to steal their money because of one bad experience from these other crappy companies. And they think we're all the same. So Vanda says, I don't do well in those groups except for the rare few like this one, meaning ours. But I joined that other one so I could like your post. My question is, where were all these people before TV told them to buy Canadian? I'm guessing half of them have never been to a farmer's market. It's great that they're doing this now, but you should have been doing it before, 100%. Where were they when you know what was going on 4 years ago? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like it's so interesting to see like what the media pushes and when. I don't really want to get into politics much in this conversation, but it is like we don't see, like when you look at these groups, it's not like that. I've joined those groups to see what they're talking about when it comes to like supporting Canadian or what it seems like we're with the direction people are going. And like we certainly haven't had an increase in sales, Canadian sales, since the media is like everyone buy. Like I think it's more trendy, or it's more like we're in this group, let's do this together. But people don't necessarily like. I think a lot of people are raw, but don't actually take action towards making a difference. We've been on the supporting local train forever because we've started a small business in a small town, and then we moved to a bigger city and have a bigger warehouse. So we know what it's like to grow grassroots from the ground up. We've built our company from nothing, and our brand and our supplements from zero. We don't sell other people's supplements. We design them, we label them, we work with manufacturers to bring the products. It's a completely different world than having someone else's product that you are selling. And we're seeing that now. A lot of times people are saying, my business, my company, my products, and then that company, there's been a few, like something happened, I don't really know, but something happened to Beachbody, something happened to Moderna, I know something happened to Young Living, which drastically changed their back end. But you see a lot of these companies making big changes, and then those people lose their business or job. But it's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's definitely an easier route, but it's completely different when you're building your own thing from the ground up. And it just means so much to have you guys support us like this. But you looking at those groups, and I don't think it's more support Canada. I think it's more don't support the US, which is entirely different. So for example, I actually saw a conversation of someone was like, go buy Canadian Tire. They're Canadian. And then someone wrote, those products are from China, right? Like they don't have Canadian products at Canadian Tire. And then the person said, who cares if they're from China as long as they're not from the US? And I'm like, I feel like that was a good summary or generalization of what people think of it. Doesn't matter where it's coming from, or even if it's Canadian, as long as it's not US. That's just my opinion. I'd imagine a lot of people wouldn't agree with that, but that's certainly what it seems like, and I think that's what Vanda was getting at there. But regardless, appreciate you guys your support and your comments, and building a community is really an amazing thing to be a part of and to be around. I just wanted to touch on complaining a little bit, but I don't really have a nice segue to get into that. I just think that there are times, like for my rant or for my complaints, I think it's okay. Like I think it's okay to release some frustration and anger, and if you're doing that in a safe place, whether that's with your spouse or at home or whatever that looks like for you, I don't think there's a problem with that. I think we have to release that. I feel like it's a problem when you're always a complainer, and B, you're just complaining to complain.
One of the things I would like to ask of you guys is that some of you know that I don't run ads on this show and don't plan on in the immediate future. So the only ask I have for you is that you help us spread the word so we can help more women burn body fat, increase energy, and balance their hormones. And the only way that we can do that is if you can rate and review this podcast. So the single thing that I could have you do or could ask of you is to leave a review. It'll take 5 minutes or one swipe of the thumb. It would mean the absolute world to me. And more importantly, you could change the world for someone else. As many of you know, there's plenty of women that struggle in this age group for balancing hormones, increasing energy, and burning body fat. So if you could help spread the word, that would make a big difference in our life and probably someone else's as well.
We had a whole masterclass training for our MAT members, and we talked about stress in particular, and how like people that complain for no reason, it stresses me out a little bit. Not really it stresses me out so much as it frustrates me, just because often there's no basis for the complaint. It's just like I have some frustration built up, and I want to put that on somebody else and ruin their day. And for one of the examples is like this actually happened today. I was at the gym. I was I do hot cold therapy 3 times a week. So I was in the ice tub, and I went over to the hot tub, and this lady, she was complaining about how there wasn't enough swimming lanes to the lifeguard, or there wasn't enough swimming lanes for the public. Some was like for teams or something. Anyways, I just briefly heard, and it was like the kid was probably 19. It was either he just graduated or he was still in hhigh school. And it's like what are you doing? Like what is the purpose of that? Like maybe to release some frustration, but I feel like there's a better time and place for that. Like and then like for a proper, like you could ask for the manager and have a conversation and say, do you know that I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's minimal swimming lanes for the public at this time. Is it possible to open some up? Like that's a conversation. That's different than complaining. If you're going like randomly in the middle of like swimming sessions, you're complaining to a lifeguard who has no say in the lanes. Like what is the point? Like what are you doing? You're just complaining to complain. Like the poor kid, like I don't know. He looked very disinterested. The poor kid, like he like it may have disrupted his day. I don't know, but like I just don't understand the point of that. And like often we'll have like sometimes we have people that complain about us, and like I say that I would say I have a low tolerance of complaining, but it's adjusted over the years to a zero tolerance. If people are complaining about little things all the time, then I tell them, you know what, like don't buy our product. Like just go somewhere else where it's more convenient for you, because clearly this is causing you stress, and we don't need to hear about you complaining every time some little thing happens that really doesn't matter. And I understand like little things matter too. Like little things are big things for other people, but I just think complaining is such a waste of time and resources in general. I think there's a time and place to complain, which is usually behind closed doors. There's a time and place to offer suggestions to businesses. Like for example, I'll give you a quick example here, like at our business or at our location. This is a shared warehouse space, so we don't have our own warehouse at this point in time. I'd like to, but it just makes a whole lot more sense to be here for many reasons. And the internet kept cutting out, so some of you guys may have noticed that we had a couple lives, and halfway through the lives, the internet cut out. So I politely and professionally went to the manager. I said, hey, do you know that I would have guessed not too many people do lives here, but I said, I just want to let you know, like the internet keeps cutting out here. That's part of our business. And is there anything we can do about that? So that's completely different than like losing your mind and then writing mean messages or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you can be unprofessional or you could be professional. You could have a clear state of mind and then have a conversation. Like, if you should probably, in my opinion, you should probably never respond immediately. If it's a heated situation, you should wait 12 to 24 hours. The problem is that could infuriate people because they want an answer right away. But I just think complaining in particular, in general, is a giant waste. And this wasn't actually planned, but can you see my shirt? It says, train your brain not to complain. I said that in one of our training sessions or one of our lives, and I had a friend make this shirt for me, and he sent it to me. And I feel like we should true form. I actually planned on doing this, but getting into like clothing is a challenge with inventory and sizing, but I would like to true formify this somehow because I wear this all the time. Actually, the friend that sent it to me passed away, and a difficult situation, and I think about him all the time, especially when I wear this shirt. So I would like to honor him and his life through these shirts in some way. So if anyone has ideas, send them over. But I always get comments on this shirt, like always, almost every time I wear it. Someone either said something directly or they'll read it and they'll smile and like nod and walk away. But you see so few actually practicing like not complaining and changing your mindset and looking for the positives. And like when I'm in a negative frame of mind where I feel like I could complain, I try to go straight to gratitude. And I just keep listing over and over in my head all the things I'm grateful for. And eventually, like sometimes it takes a couple minutes, sometimes it takes a couple hours. But before long, you can actually train your brain. And I think if we did a better job of our thoughts, we would change those thoughts to better actions. And those actions would turn into a better outcome in our life, which I feel like most people are looking for. I know there's a few things, like sometimes there's a few things that I wanted to mention when it comes to support. Like often people message us and they say, well, how can we support you? Or what can we do? Or what else can we do besides ordering your products? So you guys don't have to buy our products, or that's not the only thing you can do to support us. Anytime you like a post or comment a post, that helps with the social media algorithms, and that lets the algorithms or the platform know that people are watching and listening, and it also helps us know that we're feeling supported. Like, I wouldn't have been talking about this at all if no one commented on that post, for example. So it's nice to feel supported, so you can always comment, like, and share. That's definitely helpful. If you want to level that up, we have options to be an affiliate. So what we do is we send you a unique link, your own link, to recommend our products. So you don't have to sell. We're not salesy. If you put up a post, or if someone's like, I'm looking for this type of product, you can say, here's a link that will give you 5% off. So your friend or family member will get 5% off, and you will get a 20% return. So you can use that as we'll send you an e-transfer, or we'll send you a product coupon to purchase. So that's another way to be more of the True Form brand if you believe in it or want to be more involved. For that affiliate program, we're going to do a bit more. We're going to give away probably free products. We're going to let you guys know. You'll be the first to know when we have new products come out. So I'll be sharing more about that here in the near future. The next level is to be a full distributor, which means you would order product and then you would sell it. So you would have inventory. That's a little bit different. We have some retails that do that. We have some independent distributors that do that. And that's a nice way to start your own side gig. If you're interested in that, either if you're interested in any of these, just send us a message and we'll set you up with more details or a step-by-step process. And that's a nice way to make a commission or make some money on the side. You get 40% margin, which is a very nice thank you for sharing our products and services. But lastly, I guess if you're in this Facebook group, you can invite people. So there's only so many people in our network, like personally. So we invite people all the time. But if you guys are inviting people regularly, that's super helpful for us to grow and be able to reach new people or more people. So there's a blue invite button that I see when I look at any Facebook page. If you click on invite, you can click the button that says invite Facebook friends, and you can invite as many as you want. So that's another way to help support us if that's what you're interested in. But if there's any business owners, if there's any other, I don't think it necessarily has to be just Canadian, but if there's any Canadian or local businesses that you want to mention in the comments, feel free to drop them. We're always about supporting local. That's how we built our business, is local support. And without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to continue to live this life and grow as we have without you guys. So local support means everything. So if you guys know anyone that needs some local support or has a website link or Facebook link, drop in the comments and we're happy to connect. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I know that was a little bit different. different topic, not specifically directed to health, nutrition, fitness, hormone, burning body fat, gaining energy. You know what? Okay, I'm going to let you go. But complaining is an energy drain. So a lot of times people come to us and they're like, how can I gain energy? One of the first questions should be, how often do you complain? Right? And then for me, when people like just complain for no reason, that drains my energy, which bothers me, which is why I try to remove those people from our lives. So think about that for a moment, because complaining, I'm very conscious of when I complain for other people because I don't want to ruin their day. But sometimes people, I feel like, could benefit from having a conversation, much different than complaining. But I think I covered enough of that. Wishing you guys a wonderful day, fantastic weekend, and thanks for being here with us. And we'll see you somewhere down the line. Have a great day.